so that you get a good idea of what you are going to learn about. So, okay, so know what mental health is. You're going to know about if you ask someone, what is mental health? You're going to know what mental health is, why people develop mental health conditions, and the role of the mental health first aider. You're going to know I don't think people understand it clearly. They get the wrong idea of what mental health is. They get the wrong idea about mental health conditions, and they don't know what a mental health first aider is. I think a lot of our communities are even in denial of mental health, which is sad really, and hence there are a lot of people out there that are self-harming, that have been self-harming themselves. There are a lot of people out there that have committed suicide. And in there somewhere is a trigger. In there somewhere along the line they've been experiencing bad mental health. Alright, so you're going to know how to provide advice, practical support for a person presenting mental health condition. So you're going to develop on this program how to provide practical support to a person who has a mental health condition. Isn't that admirable? All right. Now, I know we call the qualification mental health first aid. It's not first aid, it's mental health first aid. You are helping the individual. Practically, you're going to know how to help them practically. So there are a couple of scenarios that we run on the program. Those are the ones that are going to train you to do this. Now, I always say, whatever training you do, you need to keep the material and review the material. You must do that because skills, proficiency fade over time. I want to say this in Punjabi, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਿੰਗ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਵਕਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਜੋ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਜੋ ਗਿਆਨ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਘਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰਿਫਰੈਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੋ। ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਕਰੋ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖਦਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਫਰੈਸ਼ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਫਰਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਐਮਪਲੋਇਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਐਮਪਲੋਈਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਾਲਿਕ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਮਪਲੋਈਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਕੋਰਸ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸਿਖਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਰਸਟ ਏਡ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਉਹ ਗਿਆਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਬੋਲ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਨਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ। Alright, so yeah, know how to recognize and manage stress. You're going to learn how to know how to manage stress. How many times have you said, I am stressed? Do you know how to manage stress? Do you know stress management techniques? You're going to know how to recognize a range of mental health conditions. So, mental health conditions and their different ranges, and what has a bearing on mental health. Understand the impact of substance abuse regards mental health conditions. How does substance misuse have an impact on mental health conditions? You can understand first aid action plan for mental health and be able to put it into, so you're going to know. You're going to learn how to put an action plan together to help someone possibly in your workplace. Maybe in the past, someone has said something to you and you've worked out there under some severe distress. My question to you is, how, and maybe you didn't know what to do at the time, but now you've got the opportunity to learn about what to do so that you can help them. You can help them to cope with their stress, help them to cope with their mental health condition. Maybe you could have done more with that person. I've had someone say that to me. I just could have done more for that person. I honestly feel I could have done more. Only if I'd have done this. Only if he'd have phoned me on that day. Only if I'd have been there for him on that day. Maybe he wouldn't have. He phoned 3 people on that day, and one of them was me, but I didn't answer my phone. Maybe I could have answered my phone that day. I did say I was going to be there for him, but I wasn't. And therefore now, well, maybe you could have done more. Maybe you've got that trauma in your mind. Maybe. But what can you do now? That's the question. What can you do now to help somebody else in that similar type position? Can you do something now? See, it's no good dwelling on the past and thinking about what you could have done. Why don't you think about what you can do now? How you can grow now to help others. Why don't you think about that? Because those are the real secrets, aren't they? Those are the real secrets. Those are the real meanings. Rather than you develop a meaning by stabbing yourself over and over again in pain by saying I could have done more, what can you do now? I will say to you, are there other people out there like maybe your friend that you can help? So why not take advantage of this free course? Why not be the shark and bite my hand off? Because I'm offering you this free training for your development. Know how to implement a positive mental health culture in the workplace. Now, this is for you employers, or this is for you guys that are working. Know how to implement a positive mental health culture in your workplace. When we have a first aider on site, there's supposed to be a health and safety sign stating who the named first aiders are. Well, now, according to this qualification, there's been a big push for organisations to undertake mental health first aiders and put their certificates up so that people know who to go to if they're experiencing any difficulties, so that you're looking and taking mental health seriously. I said this on a couple of weeks ago on radio. A young guy makes a phone call and says, I know you all hate me. I don't know how he knows that, but he knows, I know you all hate me. He's only a young kid going through disciplinary, only 22 years old. I know you all hate me. He's going through disciplinary. This is going to be my last email. By the way, he's got 2 kids. And I will say that was his last email. Because he committed suicide. He committed suicide. So there are a lot of people out there. There's a lot of organisations out there with a lot of work to be done out there with organisations so that they can make the changes within their organisation, make the changes within their employment sectors Make the show that they care. Show that they care for their employees.